Nice. Good afternoon. Hope you guys are great. Obviously, recap from the game last week. Didn't obviously take care of business like we needed to. Kind of fell short. Obviously, we want to just do a better job this week of making sure that we understand the opponent that we're facing. Kentucky is a physical football team, very disciplined. They are, a good football team that's been around for a while. So we got to do a great job of understanding what we're facing this week. Any questions?
Clayton, if you could humor me, could you detail the tackling drills that are going on in practice this week? Had a couple of guys in there yesterday saying that's been a bigger emphasis. What exactly are you guys doing in each of those tackling drills?
Yes, the main focus is really, one, we got to make sure we continue teaching some base fundamentals of just wrapping and squeezing. I felt like we was in some spots in the game, the past couple games, where we just been there. We haven't been able to wrap and squeeze and grab cloth and run our feet like you should. So we kind of grinded on that this week and made sure we have, hold on until multiple guys are there. So that's kind of just been the main fundamental focus that we've been locking in on.
How frustrating can it be when that seems like it's an issue, and I guess that's probably kind of day one stuff for most football players.
Yeah, it's frustrating because you feel like you work all week, try to take care of the players throughout the week, and you really want them to make those plays. And obviously, I just do a better job of coaching it, continue putting them in those positions to perform, so they're not folding whenever we get out there.
Clayton, you guys are facing a freshman quarterback this week at Kentucky. What is the challenge of preparing for a guy like that has such little on tape this year? Are you guys able to work with what you got in terms of the tape that's out there right now?
Yeah, it's enough tape out there just to get a feel for who he is. He started at Louisville last year. I want to say he came into a game last year as well. Then he played, obviously, a couple games this year. But he is a good player, tall, big, strong arm, young talent.
Faced a pretty good running back last Saturday. And got two more coming in here in Dowdell and McGowan. What have you seen from those guys? How important is it going to be to improve on that tackle on those guys who can make those explosive runs?
It's definitely the most important thing we have to get done for sure. They have two nice size backs that are physical, run very hard. They understand their schemes and they understand the soft spots in defenses based on the coverage and whatever defense you're running. They do a good job of finding those spots. That's how I evaluate the running backs. They can find a way to get 4 yards when it's not blocked up. They do a great job of that.
We talked a lot about leadership yesterday with Shane, and I know Demetrius. People like Demetrius Knight don't just pop out of thin air, but I guess who is that vocal voice on defense this year who's sort of growing into that role?
Yeah, right now it's Nick Barrett. He's the one that's standing out the most, and Brian Thomas Jr. I've heard his voice a lot. But those have been the main two. Some other guys need to work on their consistency in that area, but I almost said Demetrius, but Nick Barrett is definitely the one. So.
Clayton, how frustrating can it be to see tackling become an issue when you guys haven't had that issue in the past? And at least from the Missouri game, it looked like guys were in the gaps, but then they just couldn't make it up. How frustrating is that as their coach?
I mean, it can be. We understand that. That's what we get. That's why we're here. So we got to continue putting those guys in position first and foremost to make sure they're there to make the tackles, and then they lean on us to focus on their weakness and their strengths to make sure they're getting better where they need to get better at. So that's our job as coaches, just to continue pushing them and keeping their head up, make sure they're confident, and obviously giving them opportunity to perform so they're just not waiting to do it on Saturday.
J.O., I think, got his first start of the season. Was that just the first play of the personnel, or has he done something the first 3 weeks of the season and in practice to give you the trust to put him as a starter?
Yeah, so to me, I always feel like those three guys they're all starters to me. That's kind of where they are in the pecking order. I just feel like, J.O. had a really good game versus Vanderbilt, very active. He's a strong tackler. So that's why he was able to go out there first.
Does Judge slide back into his starting role? Is he healthy enough to slide right back in? How do you plan to work him back in?
Yeah, all that stuff is he's still grinding back from the injury, trying to get back in shape. It's been a while since he played, so we're definitely trying to make sure that he's in condition before we throw him back out there.
With the secondary, too, because you've had some injuries there, a couple other guys getting more snaps, more David Busey on Saturday, and Gerald made a big interception. Now, what have you seen from some of the guys that have had to step up in that secondary in larger roles?
Yes, one thing about football, we always tell if you're in the two deep, you're pretty much one snap away. So those guys have been doing a great job of just for years, for 1 or 2 seasons, just studying our system, understanding how we do it, and whenever their number is called, there can't be any blinking or any hesitation by the staff or them. I thought they did a really good job of going in and playing and being in the right spots and tackling when they had opportunities.
Coach Beamer mentioned Darden yesterday for getting on the field for special teams. How have you guys seen him progress this season, and is he closer to maybe getting on the field more for some defense as well?
He is definitely getting better for sure. He's definitely, to me, that's one of those things where sometimes it takes some kids longer as freshmen to just showcase what they can do. And then he's one of those kids who's starting to do it very rapidly right now, and we like it. So we definitely will give him more opportunities as the season goes. The open week could be big for a guy like him next week. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.